So what are we having for lunch today, baby?
I'm glad you asked. Today I am preparing a nutritious meal, which is also a classic meal too, but it has the twist of the healthy version to it. I am preparing a tuna fish sandwich. So the first step in making your tuna fish sandwich is to get your tuna. Now you also are going to want to choose light tuna and make sure that it's in water and not oil because it is less fattening than tuna and oil. Now tuna is a very good source of of omega-3 fatty acids and omega-6 fatty acids. So our recipe calls for 2.5 servings of tuna. So this is a 5 ounce can, so you are just going to use half of the can. So I already have a half of the can ready. So you're going to take half of the can and you are going to put it into the bowl, as so. Now once done with that, you are going to use a tablespoon of mayonnaise because our recipe calls for a tablespoon of mayonnaise. We chose a soy-based mayonnaise instead of an egg-based mayonnaise because the soy-based mayonnaise is a lot better for you and low in fat compared to the egg-based mayonnaise. And it still has protein in it. For example, this has 1 gram of protein per a tablespoon of mayonnaise. So you are going to take your measuring spoons or even just a spoon or a knife, whatever works for you. Now obviously I'm very bad at measuring, so I am taking tablespoons. Now you're going to want to make sure that it's even out, and once you have that, you're going to pour it in with the tuna. So it looks like that. And we're going to cover that up. Once done with that, our recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of onions. Now, I started to prepare my onions already. Onions are a very good source of vitamin C. Now, I almost have a 1/4 cup here. I'm going to cut just a little bit more to make a 1/4 cup. Okay, and now I have a 1/4 cup, so I am going to take my onions and put it in my tuna. Now onions, you would probably be surprised that they actually contain the minimum excuse me, they actually contain the minimum chromium, which is a mineral that helps cells respond to insulin. So in reality, onions ultimately assist with blood glucose control. So if you are diabetic, it would not hurt to throw onions into your diet. So once you have the onions in with the tuna, you are going to mix it all up together. So I have it all mixed, and there is our filling, which looks like that. So once done with your filling, you are going to go next to your toppings. So one of our toppings are tomatoes. Now tomatoes are low in sodium and low in saturated fat and cholesterol, and they are a good source of vitamin E. Now our recipe calls for 2 thin slices of tomatoes. So we are going to slice the tomato as so with thin slices, which is hard with tomatoes because they have all the seeds in them. And I just wrecked that one. Okay, let's try that one more time. There we go. 2 thin slices of tomato. So we are going to put that aside in the tomato. And the next thing that our recipe calls for is 2 large pieces of lettuce. Now we chose iceberg lettuce. Now lettuce is low in sodium and also low in saturated fat and cholesterol, just like tomatoes, but is actually a good source of thiamine. So, and we chose iceberg lettuce because you actually get more for your money. It only costs 99 cents for this head of lettuce. So I already prepared my 2 large pieces of lettuce and washed them. You always want to make sure that you're washing your produce to prevent pesticides or any type of toxins that may be on the lettuce. Alright, and once you have the 2 large pieces of lettuce, you obviously can break them up in however you want. Now this was 2 large pieces of lettuce and I broke them up into 2 because I do not eat just 1 large piece of lettuce. I don't know who does. So once you have that, your next step is to put your cutting board aside and get your plate out. Now, you are going to take your bread. Now, we chose 100% whole wheat bread because there's actually studies out there that says switching to whole wheat from regular white bread can actually lower your risk of heart disease by 20%. Now, 20% might not be a big difference to some people, but in reality, it really is. And if you can lower your heart disease by just switching to a bread, why not? Also, wheat bread is also very good for your digestive health because it aids in it because of the fiber that it contains. So also eating fiber can help you to maintain a healthy weight, and it also can help you feel fuller longer. So we have our 2 slices of whole wheat bread. So once you have that, you can now go back to your toppings and put your toppings on. So we have our lettuce, 2 large pieces of lettuce. Once you have that, you're going to take your 2 large slices of tomato. There's 1 and 2. So once done with that, you're ready to spread your tuna mixture on. You take the tuna and you're going to put all the tuna on the sandwich. Make sure you're covering the whole sandwich because nobody likes a soggy sandwich. Alright, so once you have your tuna mixture on there, all combined together, you are going to put the bread on top. Now you can either cut your sandwich or leave it as whole. I prefer to leave mine as whole because I like to pick it up and manhandle it per se. So once you're done with that, we are going to add our next portion to our meal, which is baby carrots. Now baby carrots are low in saturated fat and cholesterol, and they are a good source of vitamin E. Now we are using baby carrots in place of potato chips because you're still getting that crunch with it, but you are getting more vitamins and minerals than you would with a bag of chips. And also, a bag of baby carrots costs approximately about 99 cents, and you are getting 5.5 servings of baby carrots compared to a bag of potato chips where you were getting 2 servings of potato chips, if that, sometimes even only 1. So baby carrots are definitely a better alternative. So our menu calls for 8 baby carrots, so I already pre-washed 8 baby carrots, and I have them here, 6, 7, 8. So once you have your 8 baby carrots, the next thing that our recipe calls for is a medium-sized apple. Now, you can either cut your medium-sized apple or you can leave it as whole. It doesn't matter. So here's our medium-sized apple. I'm going to leave mine as whole because I like it whole. Now, once done with that, our next step into our menu is 1 glass of 1% milk, 8-ounce glass. Now, 1% milk is low fat and has fewer calories than whole milk. It is also a good source of protein, vitamin B12, and vitamin D. So we have our 1% low-fat milk. Now I am going to use a measuring cup to measure out my milk because I am very bad at precising of how much is a cup and how much isn't. So here I am going to measure out 8 ounces of low-fat milk. Okay. So as you can see from here is 1 cup, and my measuring cup actually has cups and ounces on it, so it's actually comes in handy. So once you have that, you're going to take your cup and you're going to pour it in. And there you have it. You have one cup of 8-ounce milk. Now, it's actually a good thing that I use my measuring cup, because if it was me, I would have filled it right up here. So, measuring cups do come in handy until at least you get a good feeling or preciseness of how much is actually in a cup. So once you're done with that, you have your healthy alternative of a classic lunch. You have your tuna fish sandwich with a side of carrots, a medium apple, and a glass of low-fat milk. So here you go, baby. This is what's for lunch. Would you like to try it?
This looks excellent. Will you stop?
How does it taste?
Too healthy for me.
It is actually very healthy for you. It only has 670 calories per that whole meal. It also costs a total of only $2.64. So there we have it. This meal actually proves that eating healthy on a budget is possible.